Drinking Bros. Put down the water and grab a fucking drink.
Hi-oh! Whoa! Is it weird that we just have two voices?
That's it.
It's just two voices
it sounds
tonight.
empty. It sounds super fucking empty.
But it sounds empty and it sounds full at the same time, Jared. It really does.
I don't want to know what it's full of, though.
It's full of Jimmy Johns. It's full of laughter. It's full of love tonight.
It's Jared Yellow Dart Taylor.
It is. Stop making Yellow Dart happen. It is Jimmy John Jared, and that's what we're going with. And Big Dick Ross Patterson, obviously.
Oh God, your nickname is
look, I didn't name myself that. The world did. You know what I'm saying? Like I think when I was born, I think the nurse did that. I don't know who got a hold of my birth certificate, but they need to go to hold of Obama's and do the same thing. But I think it said Big Dick on it. I think it said Big Dick on it. Tonight it's just the two of us. We have no Matt Best.
Two of us.
Just the two of you and I.
Cue the music.
We have no Rocco. We have no Matt Best. This is by the way, this is a Planet Fitness episode. There is a judgment-free zone. Nobody's judging you over there, Jared. You can drink how much you want. You can eat how much you want. There's not two guys there who are working out every day and going to judge you and post this on Instagram.
Who have to highlight every time I spill all over myself.
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna know. I'm not gonna know if you spill on yourself.
Nope.
I'm not gonna know if you take a break to eat a bite of a sandwich during an interlude.
Hey,
I'm not gonna know that. That's my whole point. You know what I'm saying? The microphone may pick that up, but not me. Not me.
Oh man! Well, let's get
in tonight's episode. Yeah. Let's get to it. Tonight's episode. You know who it's brought to by, Jared. It's a personal fan fave of both you and I.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So do I. And this is on a real, genuine level. We fucking love Carnivore Club. Yes, Carnivore Club. Kind of like the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs who eat other dinosaurs. They're called carnivores. That is what this club is called. Jared and I would belong to this club. And what goes great with both beer and wine, it's meat. Meat. Motherfuckers, it's meat. For those meat eaters listening, those carnivores like us, imagine this. Imagine every month somebody packs 2 pounds of the tastiest, highest quality dry cured meat they can find into a box, and then they fucking mail that box to you. And it's a new goddamn meat every month. It really is. There's venison jerky, wild boar salami, spicy spreadable pork, you name it. And it's not like Jimmy John's. That shit's not prepackaged. They don't ship it in from like Mexico or wherever Jared gets it from. It's right here. It's a real goddamn thing. It's called Carnivore Club. Taste it for yourself. Go to carnivoreclub.co. That's .co and sign up. You can use the promo code Drinkin Bros, DRINKINBROS, to get 10% off your first box. Oh my God. Man, that was a good one.
Dude, I actually like it. Like
I do.
I got that first box and we had devoured it in like 20 seconds.
Devoured it. You know what's funny, Jared? So last night, long flight home from LA, was finishing it up, locking the edit on Range 15. Came home, my lady was like, I just want some cheese and crackers and some salami. She got boar's head. She got fucking boar's head. Not as good as Carnivore Club. Not even lying.
Yeah,
no joke.
Because it's not spicy boar salami.
No, and it wasn't shit to my goddamn house. I can tell you that. I went to a grocery store and had to buy. We had to buy boar's head, and I wasn't amped about it. So anybody who's listening, go to carnivoreclub.co. Get yourself some goddamn meat. And if you're going to eat that meat, you might as well drink that with some whiskey. Yeah, but enjoy it with some whiskey. Who's that whiskey company, Jared?
That whiskey is Lead Slingers whiskey. Lead Slingers, not lead singers. What recently?
Not lead singers.
Someone asked me, I always thought it was called lead singers. Like what?
You know who asked that, Jared? People who can't read. People who can't fucking read. Yeah.
I also had someone call it lead slingers, and I was like, "What the fuck is lead?"
Come on.
They're like, "Well, I just thought that's what it was called." I was like, "Well, it's called lead, also spelled the same way."
lead. Yeah. Yeah.
Lead
like
Slingers
read
whiskey.
or red.
Which
yeah.
right now,
Ask you should have asked them, Jared. Do they read
you-
or did they read
do you
the label
read or
carefully?
read?
Yeah. Do you read or read the label carefully?
It's kind of like that scene in Tommy Boy where they get all fucked up on that, or is it Black Sheep?
Black Sheep.
Where they get all fucked up on the nitrous, and they're like, "I want to go down the road." The road. That's such a crazy word, road.
And it's lead slingers.
It
God
is
damn it.
lead slingers.
It's American freedom. It's American bullets. It's lead slingers.
We
whiskey.
had decided about 6 months into our career of making videos that why are we promoting Jameson when we said out with the green, in with the red, white, and blue. Lead
Yeah.
Slingers, distilled
Yeah.
and bottled in the state of Oklahoma and distributed to 18 beautiful states of this country. And if it's not available in your state yet, there's a reason for that. It's paperwork. It's mundane.
and it's
all-
sold out. It's sold out a lot of goddamn places. I will say that.
Yes, it is. It is hard to keep around.
A lot of people have a hard time getting lead. It's sold out. It's fucking sold out. I was in Texas, went to get a bottle. Shit was sold out. That's how good it's sold out everywhere you go, pretty much.
So we had a complaint from South Carolina that said a bunch of their liquor stores said anytime anybody walked into their liquor store and they had lead slingers, they would buy every bottle.
Yes, buy every single bottle. And by the way, that's no lie. If you knew how many Facebook posts I get a day of people traveling to other states to get lead slingers and saying, "Oh, I bought every fucking bottle," it would alter your fucking mind. And I don't own it. I don't own the goddamn company. You know what I'm saying? I'm just proud of you guys as a best friend. And but they want it.
A super
I get it.
best friend. You're a super best friend.
I am. I'm beyond a best friend.
It was like I was joking. I want to say quite a few episodes ago when Matt and I were talking about being business owners together. It's like you realize when you really think about it, I talk to you guys 3 to 10 times a day,
Easily.
every day for the last 3 years of my life.
Yeah,
Like-
every single day.
I talk to you guys more than I talk to my wife. Like when it comes
Yeah.
down to like physical
Yep.
phone calls and stuff like that, like you realize like this, it's just weird.
Yeah, no, it's gone past a level, and I kid you about this all the time with Evan. It's gone past a level where it's almost sexual, where you're like, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Now,
I guess.
you think something's wrong if you haven't heard from
Yeah.
somebody. It's like, whoa,
Did they
hey,
die?
Hey,
Yeah. Did they die? Yeah. They alive?
something up?
Did they die? Yeah. Was there something on TMZ? Because did I miss something? Did a plane go? Were they on a Malaysia flight? Like, where did they go? Where did they fucking
that's
go?
a Drinkin' Bro podcast rule of traveling. Don't fucking
is.
fly Malaysia.
Don't fly Malaysia. Don't fly Malaysia.
That's it. Simple.
And
So,
yeah.
additional to a fine drink, what goes with a good drink, Ross, is a fucking good read.
a good book, a great book. A great book, a book of the champions, a book that scholars are going to one day make it mandatory for all of their children to read aloud to their spouses, to their girlfriends, to their gay lovers if they have that. And that book is called At Night She Cries While He Rides His Steed. It's the first ever romance novel for dudes. It's available everywhere on fucking audible.com. Hardcover, Kindle, every fucking store you can imagine except for Walmart. It'll change your life.
It's banned
the
at
funniest
Walmart
book
due
ever.
to the illustrations.
Yeah, it was banned in Walmart due to the illustrations. You'll see when you get it. There's some nude illustrations of me having sex with women. Whatever. That's life. That's what life is. And the review on Playboy, it was the best review I've still ever gotten. It says, do yourself a favor and get this thing as close to your eyeballs as you can because it's hilarious. Thank you, Playboy. You're goddamn
The
correct.
best thing that I can say is it takes place in the 1890s. It's about a cowboy killing and fucking.
Yeah,
For
actually,
250 odd pages.
It takes place in the 1840s. You're close. You're really close. It's during the gold rush. and there's a lot of trading gold for sex with prostitutes. So if you need anything more than that in this lifetime,
you are
I don't
not
know
a
what
man.
it is.
You probably
No,
are
you're not
still
a man.
writing poetry inside hipster box. Like, this book
You're
doesn't belong in your
you're
life.
Probably, yeah, no, it doesn't. You're probably still using a pocket pussy.
I would even say the gay community of men would be turned on by this book just on how manly the main character is. It's just like they would
By the way-
fantasize about being dominated
Yes.
by a man like that.
True story. The gay community is huge on this book, by the way.
Really?
Yes. I had a very prominent. I'm not going to say who it is. Gay reviewer from one of the largest publications we have, who read the book and was like, "God damn, this is amazing. Like, we need shit like this." And I asked him, by the way, and I asked him why. I was like, "Why this?" And he was just like, he goes, "You know, the pussification of America,
Wow.
is so strong that he's just like." If you don't have something like this to counter the culture, like everything is going to shift, and everything is going to become so PC, and people are just going to become so mundane and bored and afraid to offend anyone. Where this book offends everyone across the board.
I see that too. I mean, could you imagine like finally deciding like, hey, I really like dudes, and then when you get out into the dude market, all of them are just a bunch of pansy ass girls. It's like, if I wanted a fucking female, I would have stayed with females.
Yeah. And it's like, too, by the way, my I'm not going to say who this is. I got multiple gay friends. My favorite of the gays of all time is a guy who's just like us, and he's just like, "Look, man, I just want to pound some ass and drink some whiskey." And I'm just like, "Whoa." The first time I heard it out of his mouth, I was shocked. I was like, "Wait, what? What did you say?" He was like,
what
"Man,
kind of
look."
whiskey do you drink, bro?
Yeah. Because I got some lead slingers in the car. Do
Yeah,
you want to
dude,
just
like-
fuck? But dead set.
Sometimes gay dudes just want a jacked firefighter over the top of them. I mean, they don't want some fucking limp-wristed, like, "Oh, I just wrote a really good thesis." Like, get the fuck out of here. Bring in an axe next time. I want you to cut my fucking door down with an axe.
And you know what he told me? No lie. He was like, "Look, we're all not Will and Grace." He was like, "Dude, we can be just like you." He's like, "Man, I just want to fuck some butt and drink some whiskey tonight. Like, I don't want to make it a big thing." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I asked him. I was like, "All right. If you're that, like," because I was like, "Dude, you're like all the guys I hang out with." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I am." And I was like, "What's your grossest story?" And he told me his grossest gay sex story, and I was like, "Come on, dude. Come on."
Doesn't even.
And he was like, yeah. But I'll brief you on it because it's a good one. Obviously, you're not on Grindr anymore. You got married, and we're proud of you that you got off Grindr.
I'm out.
Yeah, you got off Grindr. So he found a guy off Grindr, and it was his first time on Grindr. He wasn't sure how fast it worked. So he was just like, "Oh, I'll press somebody I like and then figure it out." He pressed somebody he likes. He goes to the gym, works out, takes a fucking full healthy shit, he says, and then goes and tans. He tans afterwards at his gym.
That's a lot of sweating.
Not only is that a lot of sweating,
sweat, that's a shit sweat and a tan sweat. That's three different.
All of it.
That's three different principles of sweat.
100%. So he gets out of the John Wilkes booth, the tanning booth, and he picks up his phone and he's like, "Oh shit, there's a guy that wants to meet and fuck." And so he hits the guy back and he's like, "Oh hey, haven't showered, just got out of the gym." And he's like, "No worries, that's what I'm into." And it was like, "Oh cool, meet me in my place." And the guy was like, "No." He had never used Tinder or Grindr before, so he's like, "I'll meet you at yours." So he meets him at his place. This dude fucking, he ends up fucking this dude. The dude fucks him. He's got a shitty ass. He's got a tan on. He's sweating.
So they trade.
Same socks.
They trade?
Yeah. Same socks, same boxers, same everything, the same sweats, all of it. And then he bounces and he fucking leaves. And that was the end of his thing. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, that's easily one of the grossest stories that I've ever heard. Grosser than any dude fucking a girl story. Like you're starting to get close there in that boundary. And he was like, "Yeah, right." And he goes, "I just finished working out and taking a shit." And I was like, holy shit. Like, long story short, gays, they're just like us. They're just like us. They're fucking disgusting.
I'm shocked that they just. It was a trait. It was like, all right, we're halfway through. Let's switch.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not because you're a movie buff like I am. I don't know if you saw Behind the Candelabra with Matt Damon and Michael Douglas.
I did not see that movie.
Matt Damon's a bottom the entire movie. He's a power bottom the entire movie. Michael Douglas is pounding him endlessly.
Oh God!
In one of the scenes. Oh yeah, and it's a super close up. You've shot a couple movies now. You know what a super close up is.
Oh, I know.
It's a super close up. And then afterwards, like, Matt Damon is not happy. They're out in a hot tub together, and he's just like, he literally turns to Michael Douglas and he goes, I'm tired that you never let me get to be on top. And you're just like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And you realize it is really just like us, and the whole fucking thing is it's just as crazy as us. So it's like we can't judge anybody. We can't judge anybody,
No,
Jimmy John Sherrod.
no.
You know? Yeah.
Yellow Dart. Anyway, no.
No, there's no yellow dart. But by the way, Triple J, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm actually having Deep Eddies. Deep Eddy Ruby Red, club soda, and some lime. And I'm drinking it out of a giant German, what do you call these, Marty? What are these called?
A Stein?
A Stein, yeah. It was gifted.
Stein.
It was gifted to me by Nathan, the man, the myth, the legend that always lets us do our parties on Fort Bliss.
Nice. By the way, huge fan of Deep Eddy. Huge fan of Deep Eddy.
You were the one that actually introduced me into Deep Eddy.
I was.
And then it was funny because after you had introduced me to Deep Eddy, I had a bunch of bottles at my house, and Evan goes, you've talked to that owner before, right? I go, no. He goes, yeah, I gave you his number, and you called. You guys were chatting about this and that like a year and a half ago. I was like, I didn't know that guy owned Deep Eddy, you fucking asshole.
That's the best vodka in the land. So if Lead Slingers is the best whiskey in the land, Deep Eddy to me is the best vodka in the land.
And that's the thing. We will never enter the vodka space because Deep Eddy's got it. Deep Eddy's and Tito's. I mean, those are
Deep Eddy's good.
And
Deep Eddy's good.
Tito's is amazing too.
Tito's is also good. By the way, oddly enough, and like, this is going to sound shocking, I am drinking Deep Eddies as well. But you know what I'm drinking that with tonight? Killcliff tonight.
You're kidding.
I switched, dead serious. So the one of the owners of Killcliff sent me 3 cases to my house. I am drinking it says the blood orange color of Killcliff. And it's 15 calories, 3 carbs, and I'm crushing it right now. It's a great energy drink. It's better than having Red Bull vodka.
I loved drinking Killcliffs on set. I loved drinking Killcliffs before, and even mixing Killcliff with Lead Slingers is really fucking good.
Yeah, big fan. So I'm a big fan. That's what I'm killing tonight. You know what else I'm proud of tonight? It's just the two of us. It's a Netflix and chill night, except there's no Netflix, and we definitely aren't chilling.
No, it's just drinking and hanging.
No, tonight I just want to find out what the fat bottom girl is like. What really makes her tick? What really makes her tick?
Yeah, but you of all people would know that.
I would, but the audience doesn't know. For example, like a huge Maxim interview came out about Range 15, about the movie. It kind of talked about it. It briefly touched on how you're the Svengali, if you will, who put us all together. You made this super group happen.
That article really made me proud because of the way that he worded it was really nice to me. Like, it was just kind of cool.
but it's a true story, and I kind of wanted to touch on, like, tonight, who you are, like, why you started making videos, and why you put this whole group together. Because truthfully, there would be no Drinkin' Bros podcast without you. There would be no Range 15 without you. And I kind of want to see what made you interested in it, how you got started, and what year did you start making videos?
I mean, I would say, going way back, like my dad was a skateboarder and a surfboarder, a surfer at heart. And,
you were like a Lords of Dogtown kid.
Well, he really was. Like, he was around that time frame. He grew up in Fort Bragg, California. He was skating around Santa Rosa Skate Park, like, in the the early 80s, late 70s with guys like Tony Hawk that were showing up at the
No
time.
shit.
Yeah. I know he does have one story, I want to say in the late 70s when Tony Hawk showed up to the Santa Rosa Park, and Tony Hawk was really young. He said he was like 3 years younger than him, so Tony Hawk was around 15, he was 18.
Wow.
And he was a big skateboarder out in Fort Bragg. And he went into the Navy at 18, and then we came around and we lived in Middle California, so just north of San Francisco.
Okay.
At a little town called Novato.
Novato. Is that near San Luis Obispo?
No, so if you take the Golden Gate out of San Francisco, you hit San Rafael, then it goes Novato, Petaluma, Rona Park, Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And then if you break right around Petaluma, that's when you hit Napa Valley. So we were right there.
See, you were a wine kid. Which explains your...
Yeah, my parents were. I mean, they love... We had a lot
that
of
explains your preference for the wine. Yeah, the
had a lot of
Hillary
friends
Duff,
that
the
lived in
wine.
wine country,
Now we're starting to find out who Triple J really is.
We always visited Napa. My sister's godparents lived in Napa. They were awesome. So we always went to
How
Napa.
is it, by the way? I've never been to Napa. I've always wanted to go.
It's really cool. Like
I know. Everybody says it is. I lived in LA for 16 years. Never fucking made it to Napa. Not one time.
I want you to go with me because it would be fun for all of us to hit San Francisco and then hit Novato, because I have a lot of... Novato is like a micro Silicon Valley. If you remember that show, the Sci-Fi Channel or something came out with the Robot Wars, where they were fighting robots and shit like that.
Yeah.
That was all based in Novato. And then another, the Mythbusters used to always operate out of Mare Island, the military base that Clinton closed down in 1994. That's where my dad was stationed. So
I'm going to stop you right there. I did a movie with the Mythbusters.
No kidding.
Yes, called the Darwin Awards.
Oh shit! I still got to watch that.
Yeah, it came out in 2000. I want to say 2008. They were in it. All of us had a cameo. There was like Winona Ryder, Juliette Lewis, Joseph Fine, Juliana Margulies, ton of celebrities, and not that I'm name dropping.
Didn't
I'm
Metallica
only name dropping.
Play music for it?
Yes, Metallica was in the movie. They also played in the movie, and they played our after party at Sundance. The only reason I'm dropping this many names is because the only people my mom was impressed by was the Mythbusters. Everyone else, unimpressive.
It always works like that.
Yeah, Mythbusters, super impressed. Like, oh my God, could they really fucking, blow up a car?
That's my mom too, though. I send her a photo of me and Channing Tatum, but then I show her us hanging out with the Scorpions. You know the Scorpions! So,
yes.
Anyway, like I remember as a kid, my dad had built a nice quarter pipe for the neighbor kids. Like the neighbors paid him, and he built this beautiful quarter pipe. And then they ended up moving it out to the airfield on Hamilton Air Force Base, because that's where we lived, which was a World War II Air Force base that was decommissioned, and they had military housing on there. So he moved that quarter pipe out, and they ended up building a half pipe out on the runway. And tons of old school skaters would be out there. I remember him taking me out there and just seeing guys with flat tail boards. I mean, that's what it was then.
Yeah.
Just ripping it up. And then I want to say around 92, 93, they built an X game size vert ramp on that base. And he would take me there and he would shred up and I would just watch. And
that's fucking crazy.
Sit on a skateboard and go up and down and stuff and just watch him freaking shred it up. And it was super cool. Well, then there was like a gap.
Was he, by the way, was he filming?
No,
or shooting pictures or video or anything.
No. This was all just sport at that point. So then we move. Clinton during the BRAC closes Mare Island, and it transfers all the Navy subs from Mare Island up to the Pacific Northwest, which is Subbase Bangor in Silverdale, Washington. So we moved to this little place called Island Lake in Silverdale, and we get there. I want to say there was probably because I was 10 years old, so probably a 4-year gap where we were into dirt biking. He bought himself a XR250 and he got us dirt bikes. So me and my brother were doing dirt bike stuff. And then I want to say around the time I was 14, 15, we picked up a skateboard again, and then it was on. And the second that I had a skateboard, all of a sudden he was motivated again, and he built us a rad quarter pipe in the garage, to the point where all the neighborhood kids flocked to our yard because it was like, dude, you guys got a freaking next level quarter pipe in here. None of us have that. So we would all skate there. And then that eventually turned into, he built us a rad half pipe. I want to say by the time I was 15, put a bunch of railroad ties down on the property and built a fucking sick half pipe. And
that's fucking awesome.
And when I was in 9th grade is when I had first. That's when this video series called 411 Video Magazine was coming out at Zoomies, the skate shops in the mall and stuff like that. Started buying that. Started realizing, okay, everybody that's a skateboarder makes a skate video. So I need a camera. So I borrow, obviously, my parents' camera, and we start filming all the guys in the neighborhood that are doing cool skateboard stuff. And
what kind of camera was that, by the way?
I want to say it was a high 8, so it was an 8mm.
Yeah,
and I mean, you're still looking at a 4:3 cut on that, and it's at standard definition. Like,
yeah, but that's still that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, though. Yeah,
but we had one. We had a
yeah.
camera.
I know. That's a big deal though at the time. Yeah.
So moving on, it got to the point where, hey, we had filled all these tapes full of skateboard tricks. What are we going to do with them? But at that time, there was just nothing available to the consumer to edit and stuff. The only editing software that existed at that time was Avid. And the only place that had an Avid machine was the high school. And I was in junior high at the time. So I approached the high school. I went to the principal. I asked if we could create a video club for people that were shooting and making videos. They said yes. They put me in touch with the visual communications teacher, who I then, again, had to pitch my pitch saying, hey, we're shooting videos. Can we use the machines to edit? And then the official North Kitsap Video Club was created. And at first, for the first, I want to say 2 months, it was just me and our guys there editing our skate video. And the first skate video...
because Avid takes a long goddamn time to edit on, because you got to transcode it. You got to transcode it first.
You got to import everything. So we had to go through...
It takes hours. It takes fucking hours.
All the tapes. But even then, hard drives weren't big enough to archive this stuff.
No,
so
nothing was.
You had to know your specific in and out points before you even imported, because you didn't have enough hard drive space to do this.
That sounds like my fucking worst nightmare, by the way. My worst nightmare as a director is that right there.
It's funny because you look back on it now, it was like, God, that was, we jumped through hoops to make one video. The first skate video we ever cut was to the song by SR71.
Do you remember the name of it?
It's their biggest song. It's the "She clings to me like cellophane, fake plastic submarine." Sort of
and how old were you?
I want to say I was 14 or 15.
Wow. So at 14 or 15, you knew you wanted to do this. You had a dream to do this. Did you ever think that passion, that drive to understand video and filmmaking would lead to a movie that you're doing now?
Yes and no. Like, I was realistic then. Like, I knew that I wanted to do creative stuff in video, but honestly, even fast forwarding 10, 15 years, in 2008, my highest goals was to just be a gaffer on a film. Like,
really?
Yeah. It was like I would have been happy to be setting up lights and doing things on a feature. Like, and that was 2008. So we'll definitely jump forward. I ended up editing 3 films before I graduated high school, and they were literally just skate videos, because we were huge fans of Bam Margera before the whole explosion of Jackass and everything like that.
Right. Huge
fans of Birdhouse and Tony Hawk, Jump Off a Building, Bucky Lasik, who I've got to fucking hang out with now, like, and ride in a car with, like, which is insane to me because
Yeah.
I remember, you know, watching his part in the Birdhouse film, The End, which was amazing. Another thing too, on a quick tangent, when we were still dirt biking during this whole thing, my dad and my brother and I, and one of the big dirt bike movies when I was 15 was called Terifima 2. And it was the Honda sponsored video. It had Jeremy McGrath was the biggest fucking supercross rider ever known to man. And in that video, Travis Pastrana did a rhythm section, or not but a motocross track with Ezra Lusk. And my dad took me the day Terifima 2 came out on VHS. We went to the motorcycle shop and we bought that movie. We went home and we both watched it together. And I remember watching Travis Pastrana because he was 13 years old. He was 2 years younger than me. So it was like,
Right.
Holy shit, this kid is so good. And fast forward to now, and we're friends with Travis Pastrana. It's like when I had hung out with Travis, I had told him that. I said, dude, when I was a kid, I watched you in Terifima 2. And he looks at me, he goes, out of everyone I've met, you're the only motherfucker that has ever brought up that fucking movie.
Ever in the history of man. Because that's what you do. You bring up the obscure fucking movies that no. It's like, what's your favorite Hillary Duff movie? Oh, the one where she's an Iranian fucking pop star.
War
like,
Inc.,
come on,
my friend.
Jared.
War Inc. It's a good film.
God damn it.
Watch it.
God damn it. So all right, getting back on track then, what makes you join the military knowing that you probably found your life passion at 14 years old?
I always knew I wanted to join the military. And if you look, I have some embarrassing photos in yearbooks with quotes. I want to say there's an 8th grade photo of me with a quote that says, what do you want to do? What is your passion for life? And it says, I want to be a Navy SEAL and join SEAL Team 6.
Oh, wow. That's ambitious.
I was a huge gun guy as a kid. You know, we played guns. I would build guns out of wood. Like, I always wanted an M16. Like, I never had one. So my dad helped me build my own M16 replica out of wood, and we would go out in the yard because we had a half an acre and it was woods and everything like that. So we would play Army in the yard all the fucking time with the camouflage that we would get at a surplus store and things like that. So
and he was military too, right?
Yeah, he was Navy.
Yeah. Okay.
So as I got older, I'm 17 years old. And my dad gets orders to Italy. And they essentially tell me, hey, you know, you can't really go to college over there and you can't really have a job. Like, you could do online school, but this is 2002. It's not really developed at that point. Like, so that doesn't mean shit. It's just like, but you can't hold a job in Italy because you're an American citizen. So what do you want to do? And at that point, I was like, there's no way, in my thought process was, there's no way I'm going to go over to Italy and just waste 4 years of my life from being 17 to 22 or 21, like, and not be building something or contributing to something. I'm like, I'm going in. And my dad says, well, the only service that I'll sign for is the Air Force. And I was like, fuck. So
why the Air Force?
Because my dad at that point knew that the Air Force took care of their people. Like, they are the best service that kind of caters to the men and women that are in the service. And
you probably won't, like, you have a less chance of getting killed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Is that saying that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2001 had happened. 9/11 had happened.
Okay.
I remember that day fucking vividly because I'd walked down the stairs. My dad was on the only computer in the house that was plugged into AOL dial-up, and like, oh, a plane hit a building in New York. I was like, oh shit. I get on the bus. We go to school. I was in Viscom. The video class was my first period class in high school, and we were all watching it when the second plane hit, and it was just like, oh shit, and no one knew what was happening at that point. Like, it was very confusing time. But school got let out right after that, like by 11 o'clock, school was out. The buses were there. My mom picked us up, but we sat for close to 10 hours because we lived on base at that time. So we
Get the fuck out of here.
We sat in this line for 10 hours. Like we didn't get on base until late that night. And they were searching every single vehicle that came through the gate, even though everyone that worked on base was recalled. So it was backed up on Highway 5, like miles upon miles.
but I will say this though, the panic at that time was
no one knew
yeah,
at all.
So you didn't really have a choice as to say, all right, cool, we're going to go through whatever protocol you want to go through. Nothing like this has happened to us before, except, probably Pearl Harbor, where it was like, all right, we don't know what to do. We're going to go through this protocol. And then, yeah, you can go back and see your family at that point.
So I was a sophomore at the time. And then I finished that year. I go into my junior year, and halfway through my junior year, I had a nasty breakup with the longtime girlfriend that I had. And I was kind of over high school. Like, why the fuck do I even go to this? This is really dumb. Because that's just how my thought process is always. Like, why?
But everybody goes through that. Yeah. Though. Everybody goes through that.
So I start researching, and I realize that the state of Washington only requires 17 credits to graduate. And I look at my transcript, and I have 23. I'm like, this is the beginning of my junior year. What the fuck am I doing here? So I go to a counselor. She says the only 2 required classes that you need to have a diploma is an English and something else. So I sign up for those. I drop out of the rest of high school, and I enroll into the community college, because in order for you to apply for an adult diploma, what they call it in the state of Washington, you have to be enrolled in a community college. So I take volleyball, which was awesome.
Who doesn't?
So
yeah, everybody takes volleyball.
I would do 2 periods at my high school. I would drive to Bremerton and go to Olympic Community College and go to volleyball. And then once that was all over, December of 2002, a girl in a black Ford Explorer delivered my diploma from the state of Washington.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
And
delivered it with her mouth.
Once I had that diploma in hand, my dad and I ran into the recruiting office, said, I'm graduated, let's go. They signed me up for the Air Force. I was supposed to be a bomb loader. It was a 2W0X1. It was munitions systems apprentice. I was supposed to load bombs or work on munition systems for aircraft. I was not happy with this. So I ship off to basic. I'm in basic. I'm still like kind of miserable because, again, at this time, it's like I want to do something cool. That's all I ever want to do. Like I want to,
right.
And this guy comes in and starts talking about being a SEER instructor and how you can be a survival instructor. I'm like, that sounds cool. So we go to their briefing. It was kind of gay because they talked about how you're just a teacher for your whole career and you're never going to deploy to combat. I was, fuck that. Let's go. And I leave.
Right.
And I walk in directly into this briefing with this guy wearing BDUs, but he's got Army patches on his arm. He's got all the cool schools on his chest. He's got Halo wings. He's got jump wings. And then he's got fucking Special Forces patches on his arms. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And this guy starts talking about calling in airstrikes and lasers and how awesome it is. And I'm like, oh, fuck yes, I'm in. So I put my name in the hat to try out for this, go to the tryouts. They said only 3 guys will have school slots. There was around 110 of us that showed up to try out that day. And then we won't be notified until X day in basic training if you got the school slot. Well, I had saved my appointment slip in basic training to go to that tryout. And I hid it in my locker because you're in basic training. You got a drill instructor over your ass all the time. And the day that he had said we would be notified if we had made it into the TACP schoolhouse, I walked up to my drill instructor that morning like, hey, I got to go do TACP stuff down the way. And he didn't even look at the slip. He's like, yeah, go. So long story short, I show up at the MPF. I'm waiting for them. This clerk asked me, hey, what are you waiting for? I said, I'm waiting for the TACP instructors. They eventually call them. The TACP guys show up like, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? And I'm like, dude, I couldn't wait any longer. I needed to know if I made it into TACP. And he's like, yeah, you did. And I was like, fuck yes. So I took the paper and and they were still confused, like why I was just on this other end of base waiting for them. They were like, what are you doing here? Why are you asking me questions? You don't do anything. You're in fucking basic training. So I get my chance to go to TACP school. I end up doing a lot better than I thought I would, and I get a slot to airborne school, which if you graduate at the top of your class at TACP school, you get to go to airborne and you go to Fort Bragg. And I went to the 14th ASOS, which was fucking pinnacle in my TACP career.
Yeah, so look at you.
I was super stoked about that. Those guys were a bunch of hard motherfuckers that are real fucking warriors that just beat the fuck out of me forever until they got a fraction of a man out of me, and then I was one of them.
Yeah, and by the way, to that point, I've read a couple articles this week on hazing. Can you explain to the audience what hazing meant to you and why it's important?
Well, the thing is hazing is mislabeled. Like, what happens is you get guys that should have never been there or should never be part of the club or should never. They just don't have what it takes to kind of operate. I wouldn't say operate, but function on a combat level when stress is super high. And they make excuses. They make excuse after excuse after excuse because they're not at that level. So when I wrote that article for Havoc Journal recently that said it's entitled "Hazing," that thing you called hazing made me the man I am today. And what I'm explaining is that to congressmen and higher ups in the military, they just label physical distress and physical punishment as hazing when that's not it at all. Like, my job is to be able to accurately control and coordinate airstrikes under the most heinous stress that a human can endure. And that's in the middle of a firefight, in the middle of combat. I cannot hide on a undercover and just wait it out. Like, I have to be punching in numbers, finding grids, finding where the enemy is, talking to aerial platforms, and it's not just one set of aircraft. I could be talking to 4 to 5 sets of aircraft, whether it's helicopters, UAVs, fixed wing assets, or light ISR platforms. Like, so what those guys put me through in the beginning years, I think led me to my success later on. Because
was there any fucked up shit though?
No.
Was there any wet balls to the face?
No. It was never anything fucking creepy. It was always just really hard. They were really mean. They were really hard. They made you think you were garbage, but that was good because you were garbage at that point. You were not part. You don't just walk in to a place like that and immediately become part of the team. You gotta earn. You gotta earn your keep. And yeah, as a young kid,
earn your stripes, as they say in the biz.
They freaking pushed me until there was one day I was crying like a baby, and I just thought, like, I will never be able to be one of you guys. I'll never join this. But this guy comes out. His name's DeLorean Sheridan. He's a Silver Star recipient right now. Like,
okay,
he is a national hero. This guy, but this is before he had earned that. He walked out. He goes, look, pick yourself up, get ready for the next wave, because all this is a test for you to be here. And if you want to be here, you're going to pass the test. And keep that in your mind every time this shit goes down. And that, like, all of a sudden I was ready, and I was like, fuck, you just motivated me.
Yeah.
So I brag about that because it's cool now, because DeLorean is a decorated war hero. He's won the Saigon Award. I mean, he's a very, very well-known person in the Air Force because he's done a lot for the service and the country. Like, so it's really cool that he was the one that came out and was like, hey, fuckface, figure your shit out. You want to be here?
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. So by the way, when you finish, I don't want to say finish because you're still in the military and you still serve, but what year do you decide, like, hey, I want to come out and start trying to do this for a living.
Well, I started. I was always editing. I was always looking at stuff and kind of learning things. So I was editing cool videos for the unit because we were doing a lot of cool shit that was never put on film. And cool,
right? And they asked you,
stuff,
did they ask you to do that?
No. I mean, I just said, hey, I know how to film and I know how to edit, and they were like, fucking cool, because we need to do a sweet either like an air show display or anything like that. So I took lead on all that stuff. That's great. I was one of the first guys to have a helmet cam because my roommate had bought one and let me use it, and it was one of the first helmet cams that had came out that had like 60 wires that went into a video camera itself that you had to have in a bag recording. And I broke it on a TDY. The first time I ever used it, I broke it.
Of course you did.
On a helicopter.
Of course you did.
On a helicopter infill, but we got really good footage. So fast forward.
And by the way, anybody who doesn't know you outside of Drinkin' Bros, Jared is all about getting the footage. As long as you get the shot, Jared's good. Jared is good no matter what happens.
I got it in my head. And to this day, we still use that shit.
Yeah.
So 2008, I get picked up to be an instructor at the TACP schoolhouse, which I'm super excited for because that's kind of like to me, that was a pristine thing that I got selected to teach.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, here you are, learning from these people, getting hazed by people, and now they're asking you to teach and be a mentor to people. Like, that's got to be a big deal, right?
It really was for me. Like, I could not believe it was huge that I had gotten selected because it was pretty competitive back then. And it probably still is, I'm sure. I'm not going to take anything away from the guys that are getting selected now, but it was. But
you're probably better though, Jared. You're probably better.
So right then, I had re-enlisted for the first time, which at that time we had a $90,000 re-enlistment bonus. So you re-enlist, boom,
wow,
$90K,
boom. 90K buys a lot of shit, by the way. That buys a lot of
2008. That's a lot of whoppers,
dude. Because everybody's got a kid at that point. They probably got a house in Ohio to pay for. 90K is like, oh shit, I'm good to go. Yeah, like I can pass this. Yeah.
But meanwhile, I'm just like, I'm going to spend most of it on production equipment. I bought a full HD camera with Sony FX7. I bought.
I remember that.
My first iMac. I bought the Final Cut.
Your Macintosh, your first Macintosh?
I bought Final Cut Pro 7.5 Suite, the Final Cut Pro 2 Suite.
Oh, that Suite was expensive. Tell me, how much was that? That was expensive.
No, it was $2,800.
Yeah, that was a big boy total.
And then I bought the Magic Bullet plug-in series, which was around $1,800 too, because I wanted to learn how to color and everything like that.
Yeah, you weren't fucking around. You were playing for keeps. That's about a $4,000 piece right there.
Yeah, and then the computer. But I have to get a shout out to Marlon Castro, who worked for Pixar at the time, and Pixar was owned by Apple. So Marlon had every year he got 50% off of a purchase, and he gave that 50% off to me and let me build a machine and purchase it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
that is awesome. So that was your first rig.
Yeah.
That was your first full rig where you were like, all right, I'm ready to do shit and I'm doing this for real. What's going to happen? At
that point, I had all this equipment. I started using it for the better of our career field because we had nothing as far as recruiting materials at that time. No one knew what we did. I mean, as a TAC-P or a JTAC, like, you always had to do a 10-minute explanation anytime anybody ever asked you what you did. So I started filming stuff at the schoolhouse. I'd created a YouTube channel called Cleared Hot Production. And the first video I had put out was a preview for the Hawk 7.9 class video, and then I put out the Hawk 7.9 class video. So I filmed students from start to finish on the big camera, full HD, everything.
Sure. And let me ask you, what was the military? Were they cool with it? Or
not?
Absolutely.
Like, because career field wise, we are a minority. There's only, at any given time, there's between 900 and 1,400 of us that exist. So the Air Force does not put money to a force that small. So you don't get a lot of attention. So it was, I was the only one that was putting out stuff that really was educational about the career field. So shortly after that, I had filmed a schoolhouse overview, which had never been done before. No one. So now you can search online and say, okay, what is the TACP Schoolhouse about? And this, looking back on it now, it's like, God, I could have done way better than that, but I didn't know at that point. Early in 2008, I had like 5 giant books about Final Cut, and I was learning editing, I was learning shooting and everything, and I watched this interview with Quentin Tarantino at a Comic-Con. And this guy asked this question to Quentin.
I know that interview, by the way. Love that interview.
He says,
This
guy looks at Quentin and he goes, what is your direct advice to anybody that would love to be in the position that you're in right now? And Quentin goes, he looks at him and he doesn't bullshit. He just goes, shoot. And the crowd's silent. And then he goes, if you're not picking up a camera and shooting every day, you're not getting better. If you're one of those people that make all those excuses that says, I'm waiting for the best script, I'm waiting for a better lighting guy, I'm waiting for better sound, I'm waiting for any of this, he goes, that doesn't mean you're getting better. You're just sitting around.
Yeah.
Shoot every day.
100% true.
Every day.
And by the way, to this day, that is 100% true. He tells that same story, and he doesn't really help anybody, and not in an asshole way. But he's just like, look, if you want it bad enough, go shoot. Shoot your own shit. Do your own shit. Yeah. And so it's like, for me personally, like, I've gotten this question a lot in my career of like, oh, why weren't you in an Adam Sandler movie or a Will Ferrell movie or something like that? It was like, look, or a Judd Apatow movie. They didn't hire me. You can only audition for 5 lines or whatever it was. They didn't hire me. Did I bitch about it? No. I just went and shot my own shit. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about them. I don't think about them. Like,
and who cares at that point? What's more fulfilling to you?
And the best, by the way, don't. Like, you go and shoot your own shit. You make your own shit. You don't make excuses about it. Don't make excuses about comedy, diversity, looks, race, color, whatever. Sexism, ageism.
Hard truth
shoot your own shit. If you shoot your own shit, you will never have to answer any of those questions.
And the hard truth is, what we have at our fingertips for under $500 as far as camera and editing are 40 times what guys like Robert Rodriguez had years ago.
Oh, 100%. Like if you look at the Independent Spirit Awards that was just right before the Oscars last month, one of the movies who won the most awards was a movie called Tangerine that was shot all on an iPhone. And it's like, if you're going to bitch about why you can't do X, Y, and Z, this is a transgender movie with African Americans that was shot on an iPhone. Don't bitch about diversity and everything else. Like, go and shoot your own shit. It's all available to you.
But your iPhone right
now,
and do it. Coupled with a simple video editing app, is more powerful than anything those guys had access to 15 years ago.
Absolutely. Like, They had to cut it and shoot it on film, which was a nightmare, and then process it at PhotoCam.
Anybody that makes excuses at this point is just not performing.
I know. And by the way, I think this is part of the reason why Robert Rodriguez, has not tweeted me back for me wanting to write Machete in space. It's because he's probably like, just go shoot it yourself. It's like, look, this is the one fucking thing I can't shoot myself at Rodriguez. So everybody still keep tweeting at Rodriguez because I still want to shoot that for him. You own the franchise. I can't do anything about that. Everything else I can shoot on my own. 2 Wheels of Loneliness about a gay motorcycle gang.
Loneliness.
Yeah, that we're dying to shoot. We can shoot that on our own. I can't shoot Machete Kills Again in Space because you own that franchise, Robert Rodriguez. And don't think I'm going to stop tweeting you. It's been 100 days. I'm still going to tweet at Rodriguez to write that goddamn thing. But you're right. There is no excuse anymore. Like, you can go out and do this shit on your own. You can make it work.
14, 15-year-old kids that are getting millions upon millions of followers because they just fucking shoot on their phone.
Yeah. And that's it. And they can not only shoot it but promote it. Advertise it on Facebook. Like 14 to 15-year-olds are doing it. You can go out and do it. So after 2008, how did you link up with Matt Best and Vincent Vargas and the guys?
So for 4 years strong, I was doing anything and anything I could get my hands into.
Which you should. You should, by the way.
You know as well as anybody, I am a leech when it comes to, if you have talent, you're now invited to my house and I want to know everything about it. So
Yeah.
I made friends with all the major photographers, all the major graphic artists, everybody that was in my city. They now became my best friend, and I want to know everything that they had to offer. Like, teach me that. Like, I learned photography from my roommate, Dave Reardon, GOAT, Gary Stevens, guy that did all of our posters, Chasen Grisham, and Chris Visual. Got all big names in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze and Navarre area. Because what I did was I found who were the big names in the area and then said, we should hang out. I've got a bunch of cool guns and gear and shit. What do you think? And that,
Hey, but by the way, which is smart because that's what everybody should do. We get a lot of emails to the podcast and to our personal pages about, oh, hey, how do I start a company like Article 15 and do this? Exactly what you're doing is what you should be doing on your own. And like, you didn't ask for anybody's help.
I remember sitting in my bedroom, because at the time my bedroom was my office as well, and I had come across
it always is, by the way.
a Facebook
it always
page.
Is. Your first office is always your bedroom.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I had come across a Facebook page called Funker530. It had 8,000 followers. I thought that was massive to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these guys! This is right when Facebook pages just started. Like, Pages was a new addition to Facebook. And I sent a message. I just said, hey, you guys need a logo? Dude emails me back right away like, actually, yeah, we do. And now I'm talking to him. I'm like, well, fuck, all right, let me try this. You know, I've been dabbing in Photoshop. I watch Photoshop tutorials all day. I was huge into Film Riot. I was huge into Freddie Wong at the time. I was a big follower of Whitest Kids You Know and Good Neighbor and Final Cut King. Like, all these people, I watched everything they put out the second they put it out. Video Copilot, Andrew Kramer. Like, to this day, if we ever accept an award for Range 15, I will give credit to Film Riot and Andrew Kramer and all these guys that essentially made me think that it was possible to do this shit. And so I made this logo for Funker. And we went back and forth. You know, I still have the original logo that you could see the first round that I did. We changed it, and then Gary Stevens jumped in with me once I kind of had the concept down. And then that was the Funker logo. And shortly after that, Funker blew up. But blowing up back then was around 50,000 followers. It was like, oh, shit, these guys are massive.
Yeah,
and
huge,
I was part
huge.
of a couple others at that time because I was just sending messages out to people that were getting popular saying, hey, do you want good graphics? Do you want good imagery? Because we can take photos, we can do logos, we can do this. Everyone was saying absolutely yes, we want that stuff. So I just was giving it out for free. Hey, take it. You now owe me a favor. Around.
But, hey, by the way, that's what you have to do, though. All of this shit has to start for free at the beginning. And this is what I think a lot of new, entrepreneurs miss out on is, oh, I can't do this for free. This isn't worth for free. My time isn't for free, whatever. No, all your time is fucking for free. At the beginning,
once you're starting,
it
your
is
time
all
is free.
for fucking free. Yeah, the first 2 or 3 years, your time is for free. You got to get your foot in the door. You've got to get your name out there.
You've got to
It
get
is
credentials.
all for fucking free.
You got to get credentials behind you.
Yes.
About 7 to 9 months later, all of a sudden, all these people that I was doing things for were huge. You had Girls for Gunslingers was over 150,000 followers. You had Big Fake Titties, Guns, and Manly Shit That'll Piss Your Girlfriend Off was close to 200,000 followers. You had Funker was close to 200,000 followers. Guns and Tactics magazine. Everybody was growing at that time, and these were all the people that I had found in the early stages saying, hey, let me do something for you. I'll do anything. Here's my skills. I'm offering them because I just want to be a part of it. So I get PCS to Fort Bliss, Texas. I'm still active duty. That was my duty station after being an instructor at Herbert Field. And I enter the 7th ASOS. I move in with one of my best friends, Mike Haytak. I live in his house today. He owns this house. He was about to
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah, I got to live with my best friend for fucking 8 months.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He was, not to mention, he was a fucking hero within our career field. Like he was so well known within the TACP community because of some of the things that he had done. Like he was a big name, and then for us to live together, it was super cool because at that time, Caitlin was still living in New Jersey before she had moved out, and it was him and I, and he was about to retire after 20 years of service, and he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. And he really wanted to do test and evaluation of tactical equipment. And I was like, I sat him down and I was like, look, here's how you get the edge on everybody else that's doing that. Become a media guy. If you can take photos and video and edit all this stuff, you now are well beyond anyone out there that's offering test and evaluation of equipment, because not only can you test and evaluate it from a subject matter expert point where you know what this stuff does in combat, but now you can produce a quality video or a quality photo that will show what this does. So we started this series called Gear and Tactics, and that's how we met Pilot X. Was Gear and Tactics. We were looking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
wow.
So I had showed up to work with some brochures on helicopter rentals in El Paso because Mike at the time was about to do a video on a folding stock adapter that folded AR stocks. So I was like, dude, it would be perfect if we rented a helicopter because you could show what it's like to have a low-profile AR platform with this folding stock adapter on. And when you exit the helicopter, you can unfold it, and now you have your full rifle. So we call this helicopter rental agency. We meet with the female that's in charge of it, and she says, I lease my helicopters. The owners won't allow guns in them, but I've got a guy that I think this will be right up the alley. And she sets up a meeting with us and Pilot X. And the day we meet him, he opens that hangar, and there is 964, the green little bird. And he's like, well, this is my helicopter. It's just mine. I own it. We could do whatever we want. I love guns. I have hundreds of guns. Pilot X's gun collection, by the way, is beyond anything anyone will ever understand. Like he has stuff that there are only 3 of them in the United States, and he has 1. So he was so stoked to meet us. And we fast forward, we end up shooting this video. It's super, super fucking cool. Alex Miller was part of that video series, who was one of the filmers on the documentary Behind Range 15. Ross, you know Alex.
Yep. Love Alex.
Alex also makes all of our series videos. And then we kind of moved on from that. Well, I was coming out of work one day, and I was a manager / admin on a bunch of different Facebook pages that were massive, like 200,000 to 300,000 followers. I had worked myself so far into the depth of everything. Everybody was kind of letting me be a part of it. Like, oh, this guy's making us good graphics. He's making us timeline covers. He's doing all this stuff. So learn the wickets of Facebook. And this is very early Facebook science too. And as I'm coming out one day, I see this message come in from Matt Bess that says, hey, I'm a second back ranger. Could you share this video? And I watched the video, and it's really fucking funny, and it's really good. He has amazing camera presence, because me, coming from video background, someone that could speak clearly and continually be funny on camera is like, oh shit, this guy's good. So I ask him I go, oh, you're a ranger? What battalion? And he goes, 2nd Bat. And then he sends me his service photo. He goes, if you need proof. And it's the photo of him in ACUs in his tan beret with his crossed arms.
Shut the fuck up.
I still have the screenshots of this convo. And I go, immediately when he said 2nd Bat, I was like, okay, because that's how he responded, was 2BN. Like, if someone responds with 2BN, like, I'm not going to question that, because he he knows what he's talking about at this point. Like, all right, good. And I send him my phone number and I go, hey, call me right now. And I click on his profile to go look more about him. I realized we're already Facebook friends. And what had happened was like 9 months earlier, a dude from Second Bat had done a joint Facebook message and said, hey, you like video, you guys should know each other and be Facebook friends. We added each other and then never thought about it again. So we were already Facebook friends.
No shit.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird. I get on the phone and I go, look, dude, fly down here to El Paso. I got a photo studio. We'll do professional photos. We'll make a logo. We'll get everything rolling because I think this is going to do really, really well. But what I want to happen is once we push it out, I want a place where they can stick to, where they think like, oh, who is this guy? Why don't I know about him yet? So let's make you your whole persona online. And he's like, fuck yeah, let's go. So he flies out. We do all the photos. We film 3 videos while he's here. And I mean, I remember sitting in the same office you've been in, Ross. Matt and I celebrated the first 1,000 likes on his fan page.
Yeah. 1,000 is a big number.
1,000.
Like at the time.
That was that was
because like I'll put it this way, because obviously like I was super late to social media. You guys know this story. When I was coming up, starring in all these movies, every publicist I had was like, don't do social media, keep everything in your life private. Don't ever let the public know about your shit. It makes you more mysterious. It'll get you better roles, whatever. And then about 2011, that changed. And then even, Range 15, I just got a fan page for, Ross Patterson on Facebook maybe 3 months ago. And I'm at about 3,000 likes now. I can't imagine what it's like for, Matt. It's 600,000 likes now where you're like, what the fuck?
He's
Is this real?
verified. He's close to 700,000. Matt currently is the number 3 most popular military veteran in the world. Like,
that's crazy. Who are the two above him?
The two
Just
above
for
him
reference,
are
by the way.
Marcus Luttrell and Arlie Ermy.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So
which he will
take.
know both of them, obviously.
Yeah, he will take. Marcus is great. We love Marcus. Arlie Ermy.
Marcus is the greatest human alive.
Yeah.
Marcus is the greatest human alive. Matt will never overtake him. Arlie Ermy, though, we have our own story. If you want to say what that is, I'm fine with it.
We'll go down that road later. Like,
okay,
we don't want that to ruin today's vibe. But
let's not have it sully today's shit. But yeah,
we were at the time when Matt had come to El Paso. I had a company called Beer Drinkin Bomb Droppers, and it was for JTACs. It was for guys that called in airstrikes. It was small, like. Yeah, I was partnered with a combat controller, retired senior master sergeant by the name of Steve Behrens. Amazing fucking guy. Everybody loves him. And it was, we were doing 2,000 to 4,000 a month, just shirts here and there, but still with costs and stuff like that. We got an extra couple $100 and everything. But what I had learned is I had learned the production process for getting merchandise, T-shirts, patches.
Yeah, but by the way, which is difficult. It's really, really difficult.
Because I had interviewed 35 T-shirt companies before I chose the one I did. And the reason why I chose Terminus was because when I spoke to them on the phone, I said, look, I am fast-paced. I will have ideas like out of the blue, and they will be amazing, but I need someone that will keep up with me. And my account manager goes, here's my cell phone. You call me 24 hours a day, and I will make sure that this is fucking running within 40 minutes of you telling me. And I was like, this is the company I'm going with.
Yes.
Because that's what I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear was
who doesn't though?
Hey,
doesn't?
bro.
Yeah.
If you're fast paced, I'm fast paced too, and I'm gonna fucking ruin it. And
yeah.
But the thing is we put our money where our mouth was, and none of us ever knew what Art 15 would do. I mean, when we first started it, it was me and Matt. We had brought in Cody Ciazza. You know Cody. Cody was another J-Tech.
I love Cody.
Cody was another J-Tech at the unit. He was a friend of mine. Him and I were in the 82nd together because he was an Army guy years before. And he has a very good business sense to him. So we brought him in to kind of keep the business aspect balanced when we decided to go with the T-shirt route. And then Cody talked all of us in, because I remember this December of 2013, Cody, right when we're forming Art 15, Cody's like, "Hey, I got this guy I was in the 82nd with. He's an accountant. We should bring him in." And all of us are like, "Why?" He's like, "Because he's an accountant, you dumb fucks. Like, he's going to keep everything square." And we're like, "Okay, bring him in." So we bring Brad in.
Bring that guy in.
But looking back now as a business owner for the last 3 years, the first piece of advice I give anybody is start your books right. Bring a goddamn CPA into your business and give him.
Yeah, and by the way, you know this as well as I do. Like, because those first 3 months, like you're paying for shit that you've borrowed against, or you're setting up the LLC, you're setting up lawyer fees, like all that other stuff. People, a lot of people don't think about that. Where you're like, oh yeah, those costs don't mean anything. No, they do.
No,
and
they do.
add up.
Yeah,
they add up real quick, and you're like, all right, cool.
We started Art 15 with around $8,400, and that was. Cody and Matt put the cash in. I actually put an AR-15 up, and I sent it to Brad to do our accounting for free. I traded him a fucking rifle to do our accounting.
Wow. That's awesome. Awesome.
So our goal was, Matt and I's initial conversation was, if we could get $2,000 extra a month, we could rent helicopters, big machine guns, cool shit, tanks. Like, we could rent shit and we could make cool videos. After the first 15 days, we had done $10,000 in gross sales. And
holy shit.
That was January 14th was when we launched our first 4 shirts to February 1st. There were only 4 shirts available at that time. And it was 2 weeks. And Cody goes, $10,000 a month. That's a $120,000 company a year. I'm good with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I remember him saying that to us. We're like, fuck, yeah, we did great. We did, because the margin is about 50%, 45, 55 in our favor. So it was like, oh shit,
sure.
We made good money. And then the next month we did like 30. And it was like, oh shit. And the next month we did like 90. And it was like, oh shit. And then like 5 months later, we were all like, we can leave our real jobs and just do this.
That had to have been it. That had to have been an amazing.
It was
feeling,
unreal because none of us were in that. We weren't in it for that. And then it became a reality to the point where we went, oh shit, like this is now our lives. I don't have to rely on being in the Air Force anymore. Like I can leave now. Wow, this feels really good. It was amazing. I mean, I think that it was for everybody because it has slowly
but that's everybody's dream.
Yeah,
that's everybody's dream right there. Is to not only be working with your best friends, but doing something you love, doing something you're proud of every day. And then you make a profit off of it.
And then
it doesn't happen very often.
It
doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't. And one thing that I think it also is very rare is that the fact that we have been business partners, the 6 of us. There's 6 of us. So there's myself, Rocco, Matt, and then there's Cody, Brad, Zach. Zach is our vice president. Cody is our chief strategic fucking mover because Cody figures out everything that we need to do next, and then Brad is our CFO. And it's those 6 have been so effective. We have never once had a qualm like where it's like this mutiny or anything like that where I say that we're the luckiest guys because we all are best friends. We own a business together, and we are so effective that there's nothing else outside of that. At all.
Yeah.
it's an effective business that's making money, and you're with your best friends.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the American dream. That really is the American dream, and that's why I wanted to dig into this story tonight. Is to let people out there know that it's possible. You can start companies with your best friends, make them successful. You can be a successful entrepreneur on your own, but it takes a shit ton of hard work and a shit ton of belief in the people around you. And on that note, Jared, who's your drinking bro of the week?
All right, the drinking bros of the week. We've got two of them.
Okay.
It is Nate Wessel and Travis Pastrana.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you don't know, Nate and Travis are fucking maniacs, by the way.
Small time maniacs. Nobody knows them.
Maniacs.
Very unknown. Very unknown guys.
We had a quick FaceTime this morning, but literally at 10 a.m., those guys were bonging beer. No, I'll say this. They sent me a video. Travis was pouring ginger ale into a half gallon of Captain Morgan. Like he had maybe poured out like a tenth of it and then poured a 1 liter of Captain Morgan into it. And he's like, now it's mixed.
Which is what he does. Yeah. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
So Nate and Travis are fucking amazing people. Travis has done fucking leaps and bounds things from where he came from, where being a professional motocross rider to becoming a professional rally race car driver. Nate Wessel was a professional BMXer. He became a professional ramp builder to the point where he's now Woodward's head ramp builder, and he's Travis's head ramp builder.
Whatever. I'm a head ramp builder myself.
So
you know what I'm saying?
These guys have two productions you have to check out. Nate's is Bikes Over Baghdad, because as a professional BMXer, Nate, quite a few years ago, said, hey, I want to bring the pro BMX circuit to our troops that are serving overseas, and he made a documentary about it called Bikes Over Baghdad. It's available on all our outlets, Amazon, iTunes, everything. You've got to watch it because it's heart-wrenching. I mean, these guys were kicking ass for 5 years straight, just doing shows for our troops. Same thing with Travis. Travis is a fucking amazing troop supporter. He created Nitro Circus. He's a legend in the motocross community. So Ross, those are our guys.
Yeah.
Nate and Travis.
Cheers. Cheers to them.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to them. And on that note, Jared, it's been a great night. I've enjoyed spending the night with you.
It wasn't silly. It wasn't funny.
No, but without my penis inside of you, it was a great night that we enjoyed together. And hey, and you know who this podcast is brought to us by? It was brought to us by Carnivore Club. What goes great with both beer and wine? Meat. For those meat eaters listening, imagine this. Every month, someone packs 2 pounds of the tastiest, high-quality, dry-cured meat they can find into a box, and then they mail that box to you. And it's a new meat every single month. Venison jerky, wild boar salami, spicy spreadable pork, you name it. It's a real goddamn thing. It's called Carnivore Club. Taste it for yourself. Go to carnivoreclub.co and sign up. You can use the promo code DrinkinBros to get 10% off your first box. That is carnivoreclub.co. And for Jared Taylor and Ross Patterson, with no Rocco and no Matt Best, I think we made this a magical evening. We are out of here tonight.
Sorry. We miss him. We miss him.
We do miss him. But we made lemons out of lemonade tonight is what we did, Jared. And for the Drinkin' Bros, we are out of here. We love you.